Hi there, I'm Gord, and this is a donut chuck. One of the handiest jigs in my shop. I use it when I've finished turning the top of a vessel or a bowl to reverse it so I can turn away the tenon that was held in the four-jaw chuck. And today I'm going to show you how to build one and how they're put to use. My lathe has a 16-inch swing, so I've cut this piece of plywood to a 16-inch square. I'm using a straight edge to mark the diagonals to find the center of the board, and then I'll use a beam compass to mark the largest circle I can. Using my bandsaw, I'm cutting just outside of the line of the circle that I drew. I use a straight edge to draw a line across the face of the disc passing through the center. Here I am making a mark 1/2 inch in from the outside edge. Now I'll use the beam compass again to draw another circle using that new mark as the reference. Using my digital protractor, I'm drawing lines at 60-degree intervals. I'm using the straight edge to extend the lines across the disc, dividing it into 6 equal segments. I'm numbering each of the junction points here, and will do the same on the board that fits against this, so that I will always be able to make sure I have them in the same orientation when putting them together. I'm using a centering jig to install the faceplate. I want it as close to perfectly centered as I can get it. My next step is to sand to the line that I had drawn with the beam compass. If I find any spots that are hitting the bed of the lathe, I just make a mark at that spot and then take them right back to the spindle sander. Once the disc is spinning freely, I can go on to working on the second disc. I have my second disc cut roughly to size. The vessel I'm going to be using the donut chuck for has an outside diameter of 8 3/8 of an inch. I'm cutting the hole in the center of this disc to 8-inch diameter. I don't want the vessel to go right through. I'm going to take the disc with the faceplate, put a screw through the center, into the center of this one. I will draw a line around the outside of the first disc to know where to sand the second one to. It's critical to make sure that screw goes into the center of the second disc. I'm marking a line around on the second disc to show where I'm going to sand it to. Then I'm going to put some lines vertically on the first disc. When I do the sanding, once those lines disappear, I'll know I've got them flush. Installing a second screw off-center will ensure that the two discs maintain their orientation. Once I see that the lines on the first disc have been sanded away, I know that that area is flush. Now I use the drill press to drill 1/4-inch holes at each of those junction points. I've bolted it together now on all 6 spots. Make sure that it holds very tightly when I remove this disc from the inside. I've taken the screws off from the other side so that it will be free to fall out. And now I'm ready to take it out. I start by plunging a skew chisel into the plywood so that the parting tool won't tear it up badly. Drawing these lines can be a big help in centering whatever vessel or bowl I decide to put in the donut chuck. I have here some 1-inch plastic hose. I'm going to slice it lengthwise on the outside of the curve so it will form to the inside of the ring. The hose will protect the surface of whatever turning I put in here. Length is not quite right, I just have to put a small piece in there and it's ready to go. Now I have everything ready to put the vessel into the donut chuck. The face of the vessel I protected with some blue masking tape just to make sure it doesn't get scratched on the surface. When I put that in, I have lines on there so I have some way to center this slightly. I have the hose here to protect. When I put it on, I have numbered all the way around to make sure I get the right orientation. I'm not building a watch here, so if I got it just a little bit off, turned maybe 1/6, they may not all line up. This way they will. Now I'm using ready rod or all thread. I put a nut on one end, drop it through the 2 holes, and on the other end I'll put a wing nut on the faceplate side. I want to make sure that I don't have any more sticking out on this side than necessary. My fingers are worth a lot to me. So I just go around, put all of these on, and then I will put it on the lathe. The vessel is secured in the donut chuck now. One point, the wing nuts have to be turned so that when they come down across the bed, they're parallel to it. They're close enough to the edge that if I had the wing out here, it would hit the bed. Now the purpose of it, of course, is just to put the tool rest there, take your bowl gouge or whatever tool you're using and just clean up the bottom, get it ready for signing and dating, and that's all there is to it. Hope you've enjoyed this little lesson. Put it to use. Let me know what you think of it once you've tried one. Subscribe if you want to see my next videos. Enjoy your day. Do some wood turning.